Hey there, fellow truth seekers, and welcome back to the True Alien Podcast,
Oh, I like that.
your daily dose of all things weird and wacky in the world of aliens, UFOs, the paranormal.
Basically, if it makes you go, huh.
We're diving right in. I'm your host, Adrian Smith.
And I'm Julia Jones. Glad to be back with you, Adrian.
Always a pleasure, Julia. And folks, today we've got a story that's, well, let's just say it's got a bit of everything. Real science, some seriously creepy stuff.
A little something for everyone.
Got it. So, Julia, you sent over some research papers on this star KIC 8462852. Astronomers have been scratching their heads over this thing for years. It keeps dimming, but not like anything we've ever seen before.
Right, the dimming patterns are completely irregular. Not at all what you'd expect from, say, a planet passing in front of the star.
Exactly. And that's what got everyone buzzing about, well, aliens. I mean, we're talking about the possibility of an alien megastructure, something built by a super advanced civilization.
The Dyson sphere theory. It's a fascinating concept, but remember, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence.
Of course. And that's where our main character comes in, Dr. Eliana Vasquez. She's a brilliant astrophysicist, although maybe a little bit controversial, who dedicated her career to figuring out what's really going on with this star.
She was way ahead of her time, really. The scientific community wasn't exactly on board with her theories.
You know how it is. People don't like it when you challenge the status quo. But Dr. Vasquez is persistent, and she's convinced there's something stranger, something much more dangerous at play here.
It sounds like she was really onto something.
Oh, she was. But she hit a major roadblock. No one wanted to fund her research.
That's a tough spot for any scientist. Research is expensive.
You could say that again. So, Dr. Vasquez is basically stuck until one day she gets this mysterious phone call.
Ooh, a mysterious phone call. This is where things start to get interesting.
You got it. The call is from this shadowy organization. They say they're very interested in her work. And get this, they offer to fund her research.
Hold on. No strings attached. There's always a catch, right? What are these people really after?
That's the million-dollar question, Julia. Dr. Vasquez is a little wary, but she's desperate to continue her research. So she takes a chance, and suddenly, she's got access to all this cutting-edge equipment and resources.
I can imagine she was thrilled, but I bet it came with some serious pressure.
Oh, absolutely. These people, they wanted results, and fast. As Dr. Vasquez digs deeper into her research, she starts picking up some really unsettling signals coming from the star. And we're not talking about your typical radio waves or light emissions.
Right. According to this report you sent over, the wavelengths fall completely outside of the known electromagnetic spectrum. This is where Dr. Vasquez starts to think that we're dealing with something beyond our current understanding of physics.
Exactly. It's like nothing anyone has ever seen before. And here's where it gets really creepy. People living near the observatory started having these intense, vivid nightmares, even hallucinations, and it all seemed to be linked to the star's activity.
It's almost as if the star was communicating in a way we don't understand.
It's a chilling thought. And it gets even weirder. Some fringe religious groups started interpreting the star's activity as some kind of divine prophecy.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it, about how we humans react to the unknown.
Absolutely. It's like everyone is trying to project their own beliefs and fears onto this mysterious star. But here's where things take a really strange turn. Dr. Vasquez discovers a pattern in the signals, a code of sorts.
A code? What kind of code are we talking about?
That's the thing. It wasn't like any language we know. She described it as geometric, a sequence of pulses and pauses that seem to correspond to specific spatial relationships.
You also sent over some fascinating research on ancient symbolism, am I right?
You are. Dr. Vasquez found that these geometric patterns echoed patterns found in ancient texts and symbols from all over the world.
It's almost as if someone or something was trying to send a message across time and space.
Exactly. But here's the really unsettling part. Dr. Vasquez believed this code wasn't for communication. It was for creation.
Creation. Creating what, exactly? This is getting really interesting.
That's the question that was haunting Dr. Vasquez. And let me tell you, the answer might be a lot more terrifying than anyone could have imagined. Welcome back, everyone, to the True Alien Podcast. Remember that shadowy organization funding Dr. Vasquez's research?
Oh, yeah. The ones who are a little too eager for results.
Right. Well, they're starting to get impatient, breathing down her neck, demanding answers. And let me tell you, they are not thrilled about this whole potentially summoning a cosmic horror situation.
Understandably so.
But Dr. Vasquez isn't the type to sit around and wait for the end of the world. She comes up with a plan. And it's a pretty wild one.
You mentioned something about hijacking the telescope array. That sounds a little intense.
Oh, it is. She figures if this code is being used to build something, then maybe, just maybe, she can disrupt the process.
Yeah.
Fight fire with fire.
I'm not sure I follow.
Okay, so she wants to turn the telescopes inward, not towards the star, but towards the facility itself.
Wait, point the telescopes at themselves?
Exactly. Then she's going to use the array to broadcast a distorted version of the star's signal back out into space. Basically, try to mess with whatever's being constructed on the other side.
Wow, that's a risky move. What if she makes things worse?
It's a gamble, no doubt. But time is running out, and they're desperate. Dr. Vasquez has got a small team helping her and Nikolai Razlov, a pretty intense ex-Spetsnaz engineer, and her grad student, Bethany. They're all in on this crazy plan.
An ex-Spetsnaz engineer. That's not who I'd expect to find on an astrophysics team.
I know, right? Talk about a diverse skill set.
Yeah.
But anyway, as you can imagine, things don't exactly go according to plan. In fact, they go very, very wrong.
I knew it. Something had to go wrong. What happened?
It's pure chaos.
Yeah.
The second they flip the switch, reality itself starts to, warp. The lab fills with this oppressive pulsing energy. And right above the telescope array, a rift starts to open, a tear in the fabric of space-time.
Hold on, a rift. Are you saying they opened up a portal to somewhere else?
That's right, a portal, like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, And whatever comes crawling out of that rift is definitely not friendly.
Oh no, this sounds really bad. What did it look like?
We don't actually get a good look, just these terrifying descriptions from witnesses. They say it was like this void, an absence of light and form, but with this overwhelming sense of malice, like it wants to devour everything.
That sounds absolutely terrifying. What about the shadowy organization? How did they react to this?
Well, it turns out they weren't just interested in studying the star. They wanted to control whatever was on the other side of that rift.
So they were the real aliens all along.
Exactly. And they are not happy that Dr. Vasquez has messed up their plans. It's all-out pandemonium. Razlov, being the ex-soldier that he is, grabs some weapons and prepares to fight. He knows they probably can't win, but he's determined to protect Bethany and buy Dr. Vasquez some time.
What about Dr. Vasquez? What does she do?
She's not giving up either. She realizes she can't close the rift, not with what she has. But maybe, just maybe, she can redirect it. So she starts frantically reprogramming the array, overriding every safety protocol. She's pushing that equipment to its absolute limit.
So she's basically weaponizing the whole facility.
That's one way to put it. Welcome back to the True Alien Podcast, folks. Last time we left off with a cosmic horror emerging from a rift above the facility and a firefight breaking out between Dr. Vasquez's team and that shady organization. It's a real mess.
Yeah, real nail biter. So Dr. Vasquez is trying to redirect this rift, right? And Razlov's holding off those, whatever they are. And Bethany's caught in the middle of it all. What happens next?
Well, the after-action report paints a pretty terrifying picture. The whole lab is shaking, alarms are blaring, gunfire's echoing everywhere. And Dr. Vasquez is right in the thick of it, laser-focused on her task.
Trying to rewrite code while a cosmic horror is coming through a rift. Talk about pressure.
You said it. She's pushing that telescope array way past its limits, rewriting code on the fly, just trying to stay one step ahead of disaster.
So what happens to the rift? Does she manage to redirect it?
Just as the rift seems about to swallow the entire facility, there's this blinding flash of light, and then silence.
Silence. That doesn't sound good.
When the dust settles, Dr. Vasquez wakes up in the middle of a wasteland. The facility, everything, gone. Just a crater of molten glass and twisted metal.
It's like a bomb went off. Did she survive the blast? What about Razlov and Bethany and those people from the organization? What happened to them?
That's the chilling part. There's no sign of any of them. They just vanished. And as if that wasn't bad enough, Dr. Vasquez notices something else.
Like, what is it? Don't leave us hanging.
KIC 8462852. The star that started this whole mess. It's gone too.
Gone? You mean like disappeared?
Completely vanished, like it was never there at all. And that's where the official reports end.
Yeah.
Lots of questions, very few answers.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? What happened to that star? What came through that rift? And where did Dr. Vasquez and her team go? I guess some things are just beyond our understanding.
That's right, Julia. Sometimes the truth is a lot stranger and a lot scarier than we can even imagine. But hey, that's what we're here for, right? To explore the mysteries of the universe.
Exactly. It's a big, strange universe out there, folks, full of wonders and terrors beyond our wildest dreams. What you think happened in this story? Share your theories with us on social media. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the unknown, don't forget to rate and follow the True Alien Podcast for more stories that will make you question everything you thought you knew about the universe. Until next time, keep looking up and maybe sleep with the lights on.